Morning, everybody. My name is Villanueva. My capstone project is the Institutional Archive at the Naval Postgraduate School. My client is the Building Ox Library, and my advisor is Dr. Eric Powell. The goal of this capstone was to provide the Building Ox Library with a central location to store and distribute their constantly growing collection of scholarly works. Since the launch of this project last month, we've had users access the site from over 90 countries. So the Naval Postgraduate School is an accredited university that is operated by the United States Navy. Their student body consists of mostly domestic military students. However, they also have a small population of civilian and foreign military students. The Building Ox Library is a public library which resides in an elevated security campus. Because of this status, any civilian may request access to their collection. However, it can be difficult to get access or to get on the base access list. The library curates and provides access to a large range of scholarly works, both in a physical and a digital format. Since the opening of the Naval Postgraduate School in 1909 and the first thesis that was authored in the 1920s, the campus's faculty and students have authored over 40,000 theses. Their collection continues to grow by about 1,200 items every year. One major problem that the Building Ox Library was facing was due to the fact that they were running a basic website that failed to address the needs of the civilian and the research community. The site hosted a limited portion of theses that were published from the 1920s to the present. Moreover, many of these theses were not available in a digital format, so their availability was limited to those who could gain physical access to the campus. Another problem with the site was the lack of an intuitive web interface, which was compounded by a lack of branding and the missing search features. Searching for theses had to be performed on the library's main catalog, which was external to this site. The browse functionality was also missing, and this was due to a lack of meaningful organizational structure. The documents were listed by document type, and they were sorted by the year and the quarter that they were published. So this is what the site looked like when I joined the team over at the Building Ox Library. It was very basic, and the person that was in charge of developing the site had no background in IT or even in web design or web development. So my solution was to implement different web technologies to support the open source platform called eSpace. It's tailored towards creating institutional repositories for different universities or even different corporate environments. And eSpace has been under continuous development by HP and MIT with active involvement of the open source community since 2002. Some of the customizations that we made to the user interface provided branding and consistent color scheme across the site. We also developed a custom metadata schema which allowed the users to make full use of the search and browse features built into the platform. Users can now search for theses under a branch of service such as US Navy or the US Marine Corps. Developing collections in the site has also allowed us to rethink how documents should be organized on the site. One goal in this area is to have a collection for each school at the Naval Postgraduate School, which will showcase all of their work across the years. The cleanup of the metadata for each item that we import into eSpace was also a major project in itself. The data had to be cleaned so that searches could return relevant results, and just also so they could be compatible with the system itself. And during the usability and security stages, we ensured that the staff were able to use the site effectively, and we also ensured that the system met the security requirements of the campus. So this is what the site looks like now, and it is live. It is accessible from anywhere in the world, and it currently provides about 7,000 scholarly documents to the public. And the long-term goal is to provide all 40,000 plus documents on this platform. And if you would like to visit it, it's at calhoun.mps.edu. So the methodology for this project revolved around the following steps, which is the research, design, deployment, testing, and feedback. As an example, for the metadata cleanup, we had to do research about the state of the records in the catalog. We then had to design and build crosswalk tools which would make the data compatible with eSpace. At this point, we would then run our crosswalk tools and import the resulting data into eSpace to check for any errors or in the data or in our processes. After that step, we would reiterate through this loop to finish any other specific tasks. So some of the tools that we utilized were the Red Hat Enterprise 5 distribution, which is just a Linux server distribution that Red Hat has a contract with the DoD. We We also use the Postgraduate database platform as our backend database, and we use Tomcat, which is a web server for Java applications. We also use Nginx, which is a very light resource web server that provides access to the site. And we utilize the Perl scripting language mostly for the metadata cleanup. We use Photoshop for the creation of banners and other images that appear throughout the site. We use Acrobat Pro X because most of our theses are in PDF format, so that was a requirement there. And we also utilize the Jira bug tracking software, which allowed us to track issues or deadlines within the project itself. I also learned what the processes and procedures are at the DoD, and they are a lot stricter than at maybe other institutions. And they take their network and server security very serious. I also learned how to utilize the different tools that to deploy this application. And the Perl script that I wrote was for creating individual packages that we could then import into DSpace. And because of that work, we were able to import over 5,000 documents in one shot, and we had that many documents available at launch. So I want to give a special thanks to my family, my advisor, and to the entire team at the Villanueva Library. And if you would like to see the site or ask me any other questions, come visit me in my poster session in room 1. Thank you.